Real estate friends and colleagues, Alex Rivlin here with Signature Real Estate, coming back at you with some more raw, live, real material. Again, unscripted. I don't even have notes on this one. Some of them I do have notes for. This one I do not. But I'm going to talk about something. I haven't really named the rule, but I'm going to call it the 10-hour rule. And I'm going to give you an example about stability in business or other things that need consistent, measured effort. I find that a lot of the real estate agents that I know, they are a slave to what is happening that day as opposed to their calendar. And the concern about that is if you are at the discretion of what's happening that day, and you've got a client that came into town, or you've got a couple escrows that are on fire right now, and you need to be calling the lender and the selling agent or the listing agent and other things like that, and you let that take priority, then you're gonna have the roller coaster effect in business. So where I came up with the 10-hour rule was this concept of somebody that goes to the gym for an hour a day, every day. I do that. Well, 5 days a week anyway. Sometimes more, but usually 5 days a week, right? 4:45 in the morning, I'm up. I'm at the gym at about 5. I stay there till just about 6, and then I go home, shower, get ready for the day, and start my day nice and early. If I were to say, you know what, this whole daily routine, it's not doing well for me, and I don't have the extra time. However, on my Saturdays that I don't have my kids, I have all the time in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give up on my hour-a-day routine 5 days a week. And I'm going to work out every second Saturday, every other Saturday for 10 hours straight. What do you think the impact would be? Well, it wouldn't be nearly as good as an hour a day, 5 days a week. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that could talk about things like your endorphin levels and your dopamine levels and how your body creates insulin and blood sugar spikes and creatine and all of the different things that are released as a result of exercise on a regular and consistent basis, as opposed to these binge exercises of 10 hours on a Saturday. I'm sure somebody can comment below, maybe John Cheplack or somebody else, Mike Novak, that works out all the time. But somebody out there can tell you the science behind it. The only thing I know is that it doesn't work the same. Why? I can't tell you. Well, it's the same thing with prospecting. When you're talking about calling clients, an hour a day of calling is going to be much more effective than 10 hours on one day. So saying that you're going to make it up the next day, oh, I didn't call for my hour today, or I didn't call for my 2 hours today, but I'm going to stack it up and do 4 tomorrow, it's not going to be the same. One of the reasons is you should have a somewhat finite amount of leads in your database at any given time that you're actually working. And those leads oftentimes need to be called today, and they need to be called again tomorrow, and they need to be called again the next day. Kind of that old 3x3 rule, right? 3 times a day for the first 3 days, 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks, 3 times a month for the next 3 months. Any of those type of consistent follow-up programs that have you dialing 20 to 30 times in order to first connect with a client or a potential prospect is absolutely imperative. So if I just got a new lead in today, and I didn't get a hold of them, and then I don't call them tomorrow because I just have too much going on, I'm way too busy, I could justify my busyness, so then I call them the next day, I'm not gonna call them 6 times that day to get a hold of them. That's not the way we're gonna stack it, right? Also, the promises of callbacks with prospecting time. So if there's anything in this business that you're gonna keep completely sacred, it's got to be your prospecting time. If you prospect every single day, there's going to be hit days, there's going to be missed days. There's going to be days that you call for an hour and get absolutely nothing, and days that you call for an hour and get 6 appointments. And I'm not saying an hour is what you need. It depends on how full your pipeline is, what your goals are, what your objectives are. But either way, you need to maintain the consistency, because that consistent effort is what's going to get you more in the pipeline, more consistency, and stop the roller coaster of only being as good as your next commission. Build a business, not a job. You've got this. Go rock it in real estate.